I want to start off with thank you for allowing me to be here. I really appreciate it. My name's Bob Zahrowski, and I thought I would start off by saying the two questions that are most commonly asked. Why am I running? And I'm running because I can't afford to stop growing and adding jobs in a tough economic time. We need to continue to be a leader in providing the future to helping families, young professionals, and putting food on the table. I've lived in Rock Creek for 33 years now. My passion is a concern for the continued growth and economic development and health of Washington County. I bring a full set of skills and experiences to the Board of Commissioners, and I think I can earn their respect and credibility. As a veteran, I learned perseverance in times of uncertainty, conflict resolution, and strong work ethic. It started with my dad and my parents. My dad was raised in a ranch in South Dakota, so I know what hard work was like. There was a family of 10 with the two parents, so it was a family of 12. And at first I thought they had just a small farm because they talked about growing their own vegetables in the couple of acres. Well, those couple of acres were their garden. And all the girls went through high school. None of the boys were allowed to go through high school because they stayed home and worked. And so my dad had then, from there, went to the Navy, was a CB in the Navy, and then a lumberjack, and then a union carpenter for the rest of his life. So our family knew what it was like to get through tough times during economic downturns. We lived that portion. Business manager, my business background, I've been a management trainer for Pacific Power and Light, planning for economic development for other cities and countries, as well as counties. Business owner in consulting for large and small companies as well. We own a family business, actually two of them. Worked in small businesses, not-for-profit organizations, and 30 years with strategic planning and process improvement. Community involvement. I've spent a lot of time in the community. Beaverton Local School Committee, elected 6 years. Scout leader, SBA, Small Business Administration. Rotary for many, many years, and lots of friends in Rotary. And working with the sheriff. I'm on the ESPD Advisory Council, so my background, and I'm really passionate about having a good, safe environment, place to live for our community, as well as going inside the jail. As a university professor, people say, isn't that a little nerve-wracking going in and out of the jail every Monday? And I say, no, actually I get more respect from the inmates of the jail than I do from some of my students at the university. So, why should you vote for me? We really need to have smart, responsible, sustained growth. We need to focus on three things. And I gave a lot of thought to this when I was designing my website a long time ago. And that was even before I filed. So my website, I actually put together the three major items that I think are important. Number one, vision. Number two, collaboration. And number three, results. Vision. We still need to have a shared vision for the county which involves each and every aspect of the community, not just a small percent of the people who are the loudest. The privileged few who have their land and work against smart, sustainable growth by trying to tie up the long-range planning in the courts and keeping the larger population fenced in, where there is no choice to build straight up instead of out. We need to encourage long-range planning by all developers, cities, county governments, schools, fire, other key services, to work on a plan which will allow communities to continue their quality of life, which is the reason our county is desirable to people to locate here and to earn full-time family wage jobs in businesses and in the trades as well, which are equally as important. Second point, collaboration. I don't make promises that I can't keep. I will work with the other commissioners as a team. You will always hear me say we instead of I. I want to give and earn mutual respect with the other commissioners. This is how I believe you want me to represent you, the people of District 2, as well as all of Washington County. Courts are the means of a last resort, not the first choice when you don't get your way. Our future lies in working together as one community. And that is my vision. Third point, results. My third and final point, we want to follow a collaborative approach where there's no limit on what we can accomplish together. We need to seek out our similarities and not our differences. When we see each other's reasons, we can work for solutions. Let me close with a story you might know. Might not know. When I was on the local school committee, quite a few years ago, they were building Rock Creek with 185th. They were widening the road, and during that time, the Rock Creek community wanted to put in a stoplight. The stoplight was across from Rock Creek Elementary. We were hoping to get it put in at that time. Excuse me. We ran into. Drink of water. Thank you. All right. We helped to put that stoplight in, and we ran into a little hitch. It was we can't get there from here. A very difficult issue, and that was there was too much of a hump in the road, and so they were going to widen the road, and we found out that later afterwards that the widening of the road on the other side was already owned by Beaverton School District, opposite where Westview is now. So we were able to make a common sense proposal, which got adopted, which was to be able to put in and grate down the road as part of the MSTP2 project and allowed a traffic light to go in. If not, 4 years later, Westview was built. We would have spent millions of dollars tearing up that road again that we just had built and widened, sidewalks and everything else, to take this hump out of the road. So what we need to do is have leadership which will listen to the communities and accurately represent the constituencies to the rest of the board in a responsible, factual manner. One of the things that's sidelined there, I teach ethics. And one of the things that I tell my students is, my job is not to teach you what is right and wrong. My job is to confuse you at a higher level. And so with that particular thought, what we want to do is look to how will we measure our ethics. If you can live with the decision of your decisions posted on the front page of the Oregonian for all your family and friends to read, then you will know you've made the right choice. And that's what I want to do. I'm asking for your support and vote. I do believe I'm the best qualified, and I will work with the other commissioners to continue to provide services to our residents in an effective, efficient manner. Please stop and see my wife, Debbie, and we'll have information for you. Thank you for your support.
My name is David O'Gwyn, and my question is for both candidates. And the question focuses on independent leadership qualities. Our experience is that many times the county planning staff makes recommendations based on precedent that fails to follow the Community Development Code, the Comprehensive Plan, and state laws. If you are elected or re-elected to the County Commission, will you make motions and stand behind them to reject the county staff recommendations that fail to uphold the requirements of the CDC, the Comprehensive Plan, and state laws? And even if other members of the commission do not follow your lead.
Be happy to take that. Thank you. Great question. My background in leadership, I failed to mention I also teach business law, so I have a firm understanding with that. I also work with the Washington County Sheriff. And let me tell you what, if we don't follow the laws, we're going to be in trouble. So I will take a hard stand no matter what it is with anybody about following the laws and following the regulations. One of the things that I want to just talk about real quickly, though, is some of my leadership philosophy. And that is, you're going to hear me talk about the positive things that are happening in Washington County, because that's the way we get collaboration working together. Driving a stake in ground and saying, take this side, take that side, doesn't benefit anybody. So I really want to work together to where people understand where individuals are coming from, and they can actually, by that, collaborate and start to understand and have mutual respect. So thank you for your question.
Virginia Bruce, forum member. This question is for Mr. Zahrowski. I was the recipient of a telephone poll a couple of weeks ago, and I understand it was paid for by the Realtors Group. And my understanding is that the poll was conducted for your campaign, Bob Terry's campaign, and Chairman Dyke's campaign. I wonder if you'd care to comment on how your campaigns are coordinating, and will that mean that if you're elected, we'll have more of the same?
I sure would, because that is brand new news to me. I had no idea. I guess anybody who is interested can conduct a poll. That's really all I know about it. You know, if that was a poll conducted and they were supporting us, it must be because they're supporting growth. That's all I can figure out, is they're supporting the economic development of growth. And realtors, as well as unions, have a real stake in this. They want to have that income and that growth and the economic viability of the county. So if they did it, I guess they did it. But certainly, I don't even know if I've been endorsed. Both of us have been out and made the presentation. I haven't heard one way or the other yet. So thank you.
John, you have the last question for this round. And for you in line, you're welcome to hang out and ask your questions afterwards. John, take it away.
Thank you. Mr. Zahrowski and Commissioner Malinowski, in light of the county's experience with the reserves process, also the experience of Metro, would you want to change the statewide land use laws, and would you want to in any way restrict the jurisdiction of the Oregon Court of Appeals? And please be specific. Thanks.
From that background, all I have is history. I was not part of the decision, nor it probably will be done, and we'll have to live with what was being done. I know there is upset people on both sides. Whenever you go to and you do a last minute deal at the last minute to uphold the court's decision. So yes, I uphold the court's decision, and I commend the commissioners for doing that. Am I missing a question?
How would you change jurisdiction or statewide land use?
I don't think I would change it as of right now. I would hope that the groups could get together and continue to do long-range planning between the Washington County, the sheriffs, the schools, and everything else, so we can actually build a better infrastructure. And so I would want to move ahead with what we have. In the future, I think, now that's the answer. In the future, I believe that we need to do a better job of educating the public for specific timeframes, and that is, what is the time that you're looking at taking the information in, and then what is the deadline to cut that off? And then, so be it, follow through. We can't study everything forever either. Thank you.
Folks, let's give our candidates a hand.